Ho, ho, ho!
Christmas time is drawing near. Let's all spread some cheer. Grab your wallet, time to spend most wonderful time of year. Hiding presents in your closet, hoping that they won't find out. Season's greetings, obligations, manufactured lies from the greeting card.
Everybody's dropping money on the people they don't like. 'Tis the season to be adding to the bottom line. Eating way too many cookies, pouring eggnog in your mouth, analyzing weights of presents, shaking boxes. Decorate your house with lights and bells that you got. Mind control through Christmas carols. Feel compelled to buy as we sing along. Everywhere you go, Christmas songs are playing all the time. Never-ending marathon of It's a Wonderful Life. Everybody's going caroling, you better run and hide. Awkwardly they harmonize, I contemplate suicide. Blast off! It's Christmas time, and we are living a consumer nation. Black Friday, Ghostbusters sale, murdering for savings, murdering for savings, murdering for savings. Troubling people at the door, who did I even find us for? Smash them heads against the floor. These bargains will start a war. These bargains will start a war. These bargains will start a war. Why don't you visit family more? Buy off your guilt like just before. Buy more till everybody's poor. Why don't you spend some more? How about we spend some more?
Hey guys, I'm Scarfy.
I'm Naka.
And I'm Krüz.
And welcome to Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse, a determinedly drunk, geeky, and cheerful podcast where wolves we house in a tree and we entertain, bringing you all the latest entertainment news. So that's a lot like a music appreciation class. We talk about certain topics and see how people react to them in certain ways. That song that you were listening to was System of a Down's N.O.E.L, a parody of, I believe, B.Y.O.B.
By System of a Down.
Because as we all know, and I just want to say thank you very much, Naka, for taking the time to put Christmas lights on our lovely set. It is Christmas time after all, and we have to be sure that we get into the holiday spirit.
Oh, it's holidays. You have to say happy holidays, otherwise you sound like a bigot. Give me a fucking
No,
break.
I'm going to say Merry Christmas. Thank you very much.
Give me a fucking break, people. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want us to celebrate
so guys,
with you, that would be fun.
So guys, I was not here last week, so what did I miss?
Ago. Well, it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. What did I miss?
You missed a lot of joking around.
I mean, we messed around
didn't
a
I?
lot because, I mean, but we did get the job done.
We got the job done in record time, actually.
Yeah, that I can believe. But I will say it's finally good to be back. I apologize I was not able to make it those 2 weeks ago, guys. I was scheduled for work that day, and there was no way that I can call it off. I had to, suck it up and enjoy life as it is. By the way, guys, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I work at a movie theater, and it's like one of the best jobs ever.
Sweetness.
I just want to spend some time before we get into the subject here. I actually asked my supervisor which movie was a lot more busy, whether it was Moana or Zootopia, and they said that Zootopia was more busy than Moana, if only because the kids went in there because they saw cutesy animals, and when they came out of the theater, they enjoyed it, but the adults enjoyed it a lot more than the kids did.
Yeah.
So
it truly, I think, appealed to everyone.
Yes.
But it appealed to adults more.
Without really, like, settling or just,
Scarfy pause.
Kidnap the Scarfy pause. Maybe later.
The Scarfy pause.
Anyway. That's an idea.
And a lot of corn.
That is an idea.
You do lose a lot of corn.
So, I guys, I want to tell you something that happened to me, like, a week ago.
How about a week ago?
Yeah, sorry if my voice sounds a little bit sniffly or a little rough around the edges. I came home and I woke up with a itchy throat, but that's not stopping me from doing my podcast. So thankfully I'll get to talk just as normally as I can. I went to Starbucks and I went and bought my coffee, sat down and was, looking on my phone. And there was this guy who apparently left, and he lost his wallet. And I'll get to that in a minute. He came back, like, I think a half hour ago, realizing that his wallet was missing. And he came back to the store, to the Starbucks, rather. He was looking for his wallet, and I was sitting, like, in the exact same position that he was sitting in, like, in the exact same table. Because, like, when you go to a Starbucks in Los Angeles or in the Los Angeles County, it is busy. There is a lot of people getting coffee, and there's hardly a place to sit down where you want to get. And there's
basically like a Dunkin' Donuts in New England.
Yeah. Believe it or not, he was looking for his wallet, and he came up to me and he said, "Hey, while you were sitting here, did you by any chance see my wallet?" I'm like, "No, I can stand up for you," and that's what I did. I stood up, I looked for his wallet, and I couldn't find it. I wasn't even sitting on it. No, I'll get to that. Hold on. And he spent like a good 10 minutes looking for his wallet, and I said, "Man, it's not here. I don't see it."
It's not my wallet.
Hold on. Stop interrupting, man.
Waiting for the punchline.
Okay, well, stop. It's not a punchline.
Damn it.
But literally, he... and then he comes back, realizing that the wallet was under where the place holds the table into place. I didn't see it, and he got like really cold at me. He said that it was my obligation to help him search for his wallet.
Dick.
And I'm like,
okay.
Me being the person that I am, I flat out told him, "Sir, I did not see your wallet. I apologize." And then he got all uppity on me, which caused another woman to get involved, who said, "Look, it is not his responsibility to look for your wallet because he was not there." And I was like, "Yeah, she's right. I'm trying to be a nice person about it, and you're being really rude about it." I didn't say anything. She was saying everything, and he was just so rude. I felt bad that I even talked to him if he was going to have that attitude, like it was my obligation to find his wallet. I understand that you are frantic and all that shit, but when you lose something, it is not anyone's responsibility, where you lost it at. And, I'm not going to, and I literally went up to the woman and I just, shook her hand. I said, "Hi, my name is so-and-so. And she was asking me, you didn't record it, right?" I'm like, "No, I didn't record it." Now, that kind of gave me an idea, because I wish I could have recorded it and posted it online. Now, usually I'm not one. No. World Star doesn't count because they're not ghetto and they're not black.
It's like, you can't put it on World Star because you're white.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Anyway, let me keep going. So basically, she got all like uppity, like I wouldn't say she got uppity, but she was asking me if I recorded it, and I said no. And you know that kind of gave me an idea. I wish I could have recorded it and put it on the internet. Now, I'm not one to condone that when something really bad happens, especially when you fuck up this level and it's on the internet. But what I do know is that when you do, in fact, fuck up that level and it's on the internet, Anonymous has a very unique way of finding you and sending you pizzas and dragon dildos and a bunch of other things to your house.
Oh, yeah. Did that happen to you?
No, it didn't happen to me, but let's just say I was like, huh, isn't that a furries thing to usually troll a person by sending them dragon? Anyway, guys, that was just my little story, you know. Yeah, it was. No, there wasn't any Starbucks security cameras. Like, I wanted to avoid the conversation and argument as much as possible, so I just turned on my cell phone and listen to tunes because I didn't want to be involved and everyone is getting like all that stuff. This lady's a trooper. I have a lot of patience. She doesn't, but you know that's another day for another story. But anyway,
another day for another story.
Yeah,
another story for another day. I keep getting my Freudian slips mixed up. Anyway,
you're getting those mixed up. You're having a bad day. But something that this guy, it's on Facebook. The guy had left his wallet, whatever, on top of his car, so it fell off. The guy on a bike or a dirt bike, whatever, picked it up, went over to him, and he was like trying to wave at him to get his attention. The guy started cursing at him, so then it eventually stopped him, and then he's like, "Oh, thank you." And he's like, you know, he realized he left his phone on top of the car too, so he throws the wallet into the car, takes the phone, chucks it into the air, and drives off on his bike. I'm like, yeah, that's how.
Well, if the troll is furry, then obviously, and you're sending it to a furry, then obviously it's not going to mean much. But if you're sending it to a human who happens to not be a furry, they're not going to know the difference. So yes, I do think that's a better troll than what you think you're saying. But other than that.
Oh, this brings up something I'm not gonna talk about.
Is that really a bad thing?
Tony Stewart?
Free pizzas?
No, it's not that. It's a conversation I had the other day, but because my dad will probably be watching this in the future, I'm not gonna talk about it.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it some other time. Anyway, guys,
it's a conversation for after the stream.
Yes, we have a show to do, guys. So why don't we go to the lovely, lovely, awesome Krüz to bring us the music news. Right. Hey, that rhymes. The lovely Krüz to bring us the music news.
Make that a thing.
Anyway, Krüz, what do you have?
So, we have bad news and good news. Bad news is that there's not much new stuff. But the good news is that some of the stuff that we do have is good. Now, the only new thing we have here is Neil Young, and I'll say that's notable. That's really the only notable name there. And, well, you know, Lynyrd Skynyrd says a Southern man don't need him around anyhow. Well, Neil Young says otherwise. Canadian folk rock icon releases 37th studio album, Peace Trail, December 9th. And he has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Once with the folk rock supergroup Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, which I know because of my dad. And he's always played classic rock radio. And then again as a solo artist. And he also, I included this just because I think Scarfy has said he likes this movie a lot. He wrote the song in the same name, Philadelphia, for that movie back in 1993. But yeah, new album's coming out. It's supposed to be more acoustic, light rock. I liked Peace Trail. It's like cool ambient music, I guess.
I heard that Neil Young still sounds the same way he did, like even 40 years ago.
A lot of artists do tend to they're able to keep that same sound. Like back when I saw AC/DC live with Axl Rose. Axl Rose sounded amazing. And just like I would venture to say even better than back in the day.
Right.
Especially because at the end of Hell's Bells, you can see there's a live version of that where he does this insane shriek at the end of it. It's so awesome.
All right, Shutter has asked a question. Never mind. Pages? I can't answer the question.
No, we can't answer the question because if we do, here's the thing with that. When people ask us how much do we have in the agenda, it's kind of like you put into it what you want, and we don't want to spoil people of a time limit. We don't want to make people feel like they only have to be here for X amount of time. Yeah. You are free to come and go whenever you please. There's no limit here. Yeah. But anyway.
Sometimes also the length of what you wrote doesn't always correspond to how long it's going to take, because sometimes you can go through something really quickly.
Right.
As far as Neil Young goes, I've listened to some stuff from them. I know the song, of course, Southern Man. I don't think I can name any specific songs by them, but I do know I've heard them a lot on classic rock radio, and it's sort of not. I like the new stuff. It's light, interesting, sort of sitting on your porch, smoking a cigar kind of music.
Yeah, only a cigar.
That's how I best described it. A wacky tobacco.
Yeah, I was listening to Neil Young. His music kind of doesn't interest me all that much, but hey, if it interests you, by all means, go ahead.
Yeah. Speaking of that, the hallway in my dorm smells quite strongly of that dank. I walked outside and I just sort of stopped. I'm like,
oops.
Well, something smells good. Holy shit.
You mean what do you mean? What do you mean dank? Like pot or something, or
yes?
Yeah. Sometimes it'll just be that, but this was it was particularly strong today.
It's particularly dank.
Wow. Yeah.
Snub memes.
Speaking of that, a little bit of foreshadowing coming up from that, but now we're gonna get to the good stuff. So in lieu of new music, I'm gonna have something where I go over each of the new Big Four's albums, which is the Big Four of thrash metal. That is Slayer, Metallica, Anthrax, and Megadeth. And we're going to add Testament in there because I think their album might have even beaten all Big Four. So we'll go in, not quite chronological order, but chronological order in terms of the Big Four. First off, we're going to have Slayer, which I'm actually wearing my Slayer shirt right now. And you have Repentless. And I gave this one an 8 out of 10 because it's quite a solid album. And,
oh my god.
There are some filler songs in there. What?
Kai Dragomir, thank you for subscribing.
Wait,
nice.
We got a thing?
Yeah, we got a Twitch alerts. I set that up a few weeks ago. It finally worked. We actually had it on stream.
Wait,
oh, wonderful.
I missed it. I didn't see. Did it do it?
Yes, it did the thing.
Oh, nice.
I didn't see it. God damn it. Anyway, about Slayer. Following the loss, as many of you who have been metalheads probably know, founding member Jeff Hanneman. I almost said member. Member when Slayer had Jeff Hanneman?
Yes.
Back then, the future was uncertain for Slayer since the last album they released, I believe, was World Painted Blood back in 2010. But in the wake of that adversity, they made two key pickups. Gary Holt from Exodus, another thrash metal band, and a return of the drummer Paul Bostaph, who played with Slayer for most of the 90s and up to God Hates Us All in 2001. And with that line of set, they went to work. The result is rather impressive given the circumstances. Gary Holt, without a doubt, has done Hanneman justice and then some. Particularly on the dubbed Hannam anthem by Kerry King, known as Repentless. And what's more, they did some of their music videos. If you watch this, they did the music videos Repentless, You Against You, and Pride and Prejudice with Danny Trejo. Even though Danny Trejo is he's not in You Against You because of the story, but it's pretty fucking badass because at the end of Repentless, he's gorging someone's eyes out. It's just beautiful stuff. So put your goggles. There's a forewarning. Put your goggles on, folks. It's gonna get bloody.
Walter says he remembers getting to meet them years ago at his first Walmart store after a concert.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, guys, I just want to let you guys know. We don't have much of the music news because apparently there wasn't a lot of good releases out there. So we just decided that we needed to go to the big four and
I think
and just list all the stuff.
And this is also I forgot to mention this. This is pretty historic. I found another video that had it's called Review.The Big. I can't remember the name of the channel, but he did a pretty thorough review that, and this is the first time in over, I think, 20 years that each of the big four thrash bands has released an album within about a year of each other. Because I say about a year because it's 14 months technically, but it's close enough. Last time that happened, that was 1990, where we got the infamous Black Album, Rust in Peace, Seasons in N.O.E.L, and Persistence of Time. So let's see how this stacks up to that. And I think now, I guess I'll just say first, what do you guys think of Slayer?
Slayer's awesome. Are you kidding me? I literally went out to buy a Google Play card just to buy one of their songs before Thanksgiving break.
Wow, you really like Slayer, huh?
Yeah. That's a great story.
Well, I also...
They're asking for shotguns because of fanboys.
Oh, wow.
God, that's great. What's a random thing I saw of it's Tom Araya tells fan not to sell his car. He's like, okay, guys, like a whole emotional thing. He's like, I'm gonna have to sell my car in order to get tickets for Slayer concert. They're my favorite band. And then Tom Araya's like, in an interview or something, he's like, you shouldn't sell your car because you're probably gonna need your car to get to the show. And then that's all he says.
Well, he's not wrong.
Yeah, it's like you probably shouldn't sell it because you're gonna have to use it.
Yeah, sadly for me, as the non-metal-headed person that I am, and it still boggles my mind as to why me and Krüz are friends, even though we have totally different tastes in music. Even though I really like Metallica.
Metalheads are people too.
I know. I haven't listened. I haven't. The only good thing about me liking classical music and Krüz liking rock and roll is because, they were thought of as devil music. That's like the only thing in common. But it just goes to show you, hey, even Beethoven rocked on. But hey, that's not what we're here to talk about. Slayer, for me, they're an interesting group. I will say that much.
I've known them it's like, I want to say they're not the most unique, but they seem to be the most connected to the underground, dirty thrash culture. Even though they don't sound that way. Like I've said this before, when I say dirty, I don't mean like bad sounding production. I just mean like raw. Mm-hmm. And they just picked up the guitars, turned up the gain to max, and then just started playing. And it sounds good. It sounds really good. So now we're going to move on. Anthrax. For all kings committed. I also give this one 8 out of 10 since this was the one I most recently completed listening to since I initially hadn't bought the whole thing. But I did like how it sounded, at least at first. So after being in and out of the band, the vocalist Joey Belladonna is here to stay. And it's a good thing, too, because he sounds pretty damn good. Now, I had to do a bit of research on the band's history, but I am still familiar with the rotating vocalist since I heard, I think it must have been the other guy, his name John Bush or something like that. But, yeah, it was some other vocalist. Although, I think the first ever song I heard was Indians, which is a great song. Anyway, this album sounds like classic Anthrax with some great enhancements, which, especially in terms of production, and it has received much high praise. And on the video I mentioned earlier, this was the one that got ranked the highest. Evil Twin is one of the singles and one of the best on the album, in my opinion, along with the title track, For All Kings, and the song Zero Tolerance.
Policy.
Which, Foreign policy. We'll get to that. And that was a pretty good cover. Yeah, this. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's pretty fucking awesome. Because I hadn't listened to Anthrax a whole lot before this, but now that I've like started listening to them more, like I listened to, like before this, I knew Indians, Madhouse, Caught in a Mosh, I Am the Law, which fun fact is about the comic book character Judge Dredd.
Breaking the law, breaking the law. No.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
Respecting the law, respecting the law, copyright law! Yeah.
As if that happens on YouTube.
Very good stuff. So what do you think? Because I think this one is the most, not toned down, but I think the most down to earth of all of the thrash bands. Especially with having the notably clean, soaring vocalist. It's more like if Iron Maiden was a thrash metal band. Just want to see. I think Scarfy might have liked this one a little more.
Yeah. And Iron Maiden is very good for like 25.5-hour guitar solos and everything, but that's Iron Maiden for you.
Yeah.
I'm surprised their fingers haven't bled.
And they probably have, but I mean,
it's called
that's
Band-Aids.
the only way. It's the only way you get tougher. Yeah.
Oh, that pun! It's so bad.
What?
Pun is so bad.
Wolfgang Van Halen.
Yeah. Wolfgang Van Halen. That is a beautiful, beautiful name.
I know it really is.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, he's the nephew.
Son.
He's the son of Eddie. Eddie's son and his brother Alex's nephew, and he's the bassist in Van Halen currently. Yeah.
Yes. Because I told you that, and I researched.
Yes. And Iron Maiden does have their own plane, which is pretty fucking cool.
They do.
Yep.
And expensive.
I mean, yeah.
Spendy.
Yeah. I mean, they can afford it, obviously, but, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. What about Anthrax, and not the deadly kind? What do you think?
Anthrax is okay.
Oh, yeah, no, I like him.
He's okay. It's boring. Well, I'm going to step it up then. Yeah, he's Eddie Van Halen's son. One of the greatest, one of my favorite guitar players of all time. Now, get ready. Dystopia. Megadeth. All right. Arguably, and if you saw the picture I tweeted of this, arguably one of the best albums of the year for metal. Dystopia made a huge statement, even outside the metal community, being number one, I think, on Billboard's best rock charts. I think it debuted at number 3. And it got up to number 1 on rock, and it's still consistently up there, I think, on metal. I haven't checked very recently, but I believe it still is. Anyway, after the departure of guitarist Chris Broderick and drummer Sean Drover, and as well as the death of the former Megadeth drummer Nick Menza, which happened after the album was released, but still that was a huge impact on the band. And yeah, for background, he was the drummer on, I believe, Rust in Peace, as well as a few other albums around that time.
Right.
But Megadeth had to do some rebuilding. Like Slayer, they made 2 key pickups. Brazilian guitarist Kiko Loureiro, which is a pretty cool name. And he looks like Kirk Hammett did in the 80s with the curly hair. And then for a short time, Chris Adler from none other than Lamb of God. Yeah. Pretty fucking badass. Despite the fact that Lamb of God vocalist Randy has vocalized that he does not like Megadeth, and I quote, "People keep putting Megadeth, and I'm like, no, fix that." I don't really understand. I sort of get what he means by keep putting, like keep posting about it or something, but then he's like, no, keep putting Megadeth everywhere. Like, no. But yeah. Despite that, Chris Adler's done a great job in doing the studio session drums. He did some of the initial touring duties, but then had to leave because of schedule conflicts with Lamb of God, which was sort of inevitable. But, for the time being, it was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But I think this album is the most solid throughout because even the filler songs are like really cool. Like Poisonous Shadows kind of reminded me of Amnesia almost at the end, with the it sort of has like a creepy like thing at the end, and that reminded me of what I want to say, some of the Amnesia DLCs. Yeah, it's
I
really
see what you
cool.
mean.
The Dark Descent or Machine or a Sausage for Breakfast? Machine for Pigs.
I think it would probably be the original, but there's other DLCs where it's had like ghost woman voices. That's kind of what it's like, or it's like there's no ghost woman, but it's like she was watching me, even though she's been gone for years. I can still feel her watching me. It's pretty creepy. But yeah,
Okay.
people do compare Lamb of God and Megadeth. I mean, it's kind of like opening up a can of worms whenever you do that.
Well, that's like comparing. That's kind of like comparing Baby Metal to Dragon Force for that one song. But
yeah, fun fact, or sort of to settle that too. Dragon Force, I think for at least one show, filled in for Baby Metal's original backup band to play that song, which I imagine was a pretty great show. Yeah, which was a pretty great thing. I got to see them in Boston with the regular band, but still they did a great job, and everyone in the crowd was chanting "Dragon Force, Dragon Force," just because. Yeah. But yeah, I like both Megadeth and Lamb of God, even though I listen to Megadeth a bit more.
Who doesn't?
I do. I like Lamb of God's kind of like a. I want to. Yeah. I don't know, but they're pretty good. I know Twitch doesn't say he doesn't like Five Finger Death Punch, but I do think they're kind of similar, at least in I want to say their personalities, I guess. Sort of like, just like raw metal, uncensored, heavy fucking metal. But yeah, pretty fucking cool. And yeah, my favorite song in this has got to be Fatal Illusion, because it starts off really heavy. It's got an awesome like bass intro, and then it gets like to full thrash mode, and it's beautiful.
Nice.
That's why I love Megadeth.
Yeah, which one have you, or what did you listen to?
Fatal Illusion, obviously. Yeah. It's just way better sounding.
Yeah.
I actually really loved it.
Yeah.
There's also the song "The Threat Is Real," but every time I think of that, I just think of "The N.O.E.L is Real" from regular car reviews.
Don't be such a nihilist.
The nihilist. It's
Arby's.
Like, a nihilist. It's a nihilist. Yeah. Whatever.
That was just funny.
That's great.
That's all I have to say. Megadeth, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
This one, I think I skipped that. First two, Slayer and Anthrax, both got 8 out of 10. This one got 9 out of 10 because I think there's I don't know. I don't think there's anything disqualifying it from being a 10, but I don't like to hand out 10s very easily because it's kind of like,
unless it's Death Magnetic.
Yeah, because it's like, well, that's another thing. But because it's like, if you give this a 10, then what else have I rated in the past would constitute a 10 now? And it's like more of like, not other people thinking like, well, you gave this a 10, but not that a 10. It's I think of that first. Like, I gave this a 10, but I didn't give this a 10. And that just bothers me personally. But I do give a 10 on here, but it is not for Metallica, actually. Metallica also gets a 9 because of there's still the only issues I find. There's still a bit issues with Lars, but even he's just sounding a little better, if for no other reason because he sounds like he's playing it safe. And for some reason he's decided to look like a homeless guy. Just look at the concerts. He does look like a homeless guy.
Krüz. I'm sorry, but I have to point out a strong fallacy, but don't most rock stars look like homeless people?
No.
It depends, honestly, on who,
right.
and who can pull it
Rob
off.
Zombie.
Yeah, Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie is awesome. Just because.
Yeah, he is.
It's sort of like I love the things that it's him. I think Kirk Hammett also is like a big horror fan. They have their own like horror fest things. It's really cool.
Oh boy.
Speaking of, say what you will about Metallica, though, I think they did a pretty damn good job here. Death Magnetic was a cause for both hope and concern, given some of the production hiccups with the other thing I noticed was that the drums sort of sounded a bit weird, especially the kick drums sounded a bit like weird sometimes, and when they hit the double bass sometimes like it would sort of like go out of audio, especially on the EP that came out after this in 2011, which was Beyond Magnetic, even though those songs are pretty good, especially Hate Train. But yeah, I believe they fixed the production issues by, just sort of correcting at least the kick pedal to make it sound better. They did do a new version of Lords of Summer, which sounds a lot better and I think is an underrated song. Yeah, great tracks on Death Magnetic. And interesting little fact, the song All Nightmare Long, that's the reason I wanted to buy a wah pedal, just so I could play that, because it is a badass solo. But anyway,
I agree.
Yeah, plenty of badass songs. Agree. Plenty of badass songs here. It's impossible for me to choose a favorite, but I find I enjoy listening to Dream No More, like quite a bit. Like a remix. It's like a remix of Sad But True, The Thing That Should Not Be, and Devil's Dance all in one. And yes, it is. It's about Cthulhu, and it actually mentions him this time. Yeah. Lords of Summer, obviously, they did the remake of, and Ronnie Rising, which they included in the bonus edition of the album, which is it's a combination of 4 covers of songs that Dio, Ronnie James Dio, has done. And I think that they knocked that one out of the park. The other great songs, I think, and there were was it? Obviously, oh my God, it's full of great songs. The singles, I was about to say solos, singles they released, especially Atlas Rise, Here Comes Revenge, and what do I think of? What's the other one? I listened to Am I Savage more, and it seems to me like it's kind of like of Wolf and Man 2.0. It's pretty good.
Shutter said, oh man, that Metallica 2 weeks ago, Zootopia 2 got a little bit dark.
Yeah, Zootopia got a little bit dark. Yeah. I saw that thing about, and this is a little bit early, but the Cars thing, it shows Cars 3 getting dark.
Hey,
yeah.
Spoilers.
Wee woo.
Anyway, keep going.
But yeah. So the link we have included is a playlist for all the. Oh, I forgot to spit out the bone. That one is so fucking good. That's the most like classic sounding of all their songs. There's a bunch of YouTube videos where some people, I think it's Guitar Raza, have remixed the songs and played it with their own guitars to make it sound like it was on different Metallica albums, most notably And Justice for All, which the one for Atlas Rise on Injustice for All sounds incredible. I think they also did Spit Out the Bone on Ride the Lightning. It's just so good. I love people who can do that.
Oh yeah, you already know my thoughts on Metallica. Atlas Rise is great. I love it.
Yep. And of course it's I love that they included the part that's everyone is knowing. Yes, it's Hallowed Be Thy Name. It's basically the same riff, but the way they included it sounds amazing. And in the And Justice for All version on YouTube, they extended the harmonized solo, so it sounds so good. Oh my God. I mean, this one, I think was out of the big four. I think Metallica
takes the bacon.
I just think they handled it the best. I mean, Dystopia, I think, is the best crafted album in terms of production and content. But the way Metallica just went about it was the best they could have done for their career. I mean, people weren't sure whether they could produce another quality album after Death Magnetic because it seemed like things might have been falling apart. But I think they just pulled it all back together and made a kick-ass album.
I agree.
Ooh.
And I will always be a fan of Hardwired to Self-Destruct.
Yeah, that's what it was. I wasn't sure what you were referring to at first, but yeah, the music video for Here Comes Revenge is pretty cool. It's like a sort of like an Aesop's Fable-esque kind of cartoon thing, and about sort of Zootopia goes dark. It's like a hyena, and
I always wanted to see Zootopia 2 in a dark tone, like a more emotional dark tone.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
Think it should be. I don't know if they're. Are they going to make a sequel?
But it's going to be the rating system.
They are gonna make a sequel. They're thinking about focusing more on the relationship between Judy and Nick, and
a bit of fan service.
You want no. It's
such fan service.
No. It's only fan service if Disney takes the ideas from the other people who want to be seen, who want the dream to be real. Disney can't do that. They have to make their original analysis on it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But they're focusing more on the relationship between Nick and Judy, and with that you can come up with many political possibilities because the first one is a masterpiece of work. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with Zootopia 2. But we're getting off track here. Let's talk about the final music news of the day.
Yes.
Week, rather.
Yes, Nero to knowledge. I have seen a bunch of those videos on all the different Metallica album tones. Like, if you already are a Metallica fan, you should check those out because some of the guys who do this are incredible. To get the accuracy of the sound is just, it blows my mind that, they get the exact tone. They program the drums correctly. They don't do the vocals, I don't think, on most of them because, copyright issues, but pretty damn good job. But now, on to the last thing. Gary and Larry. Fucking shit. That.
Oh, God, no, God, please, no.
I'd watch
yes,
that.
Is Soul Scar guy right? I thought that relationship was already explored on For Affinity.
It is. We don't need another.
We don't need to go there.
No, please, God, no. Fuck no.
Hey,
that's a little too much fan service. Okay.
Yes, it is. Just,
in my opinion,
keep
it's
going.
not enough.
Oh, come on.
It's never enough. It's
never
enough.
I thought you hated the line. You know you love me. I thought you hated that line.
Yeah, because I didn't know it.
Do I hate it? I do.
No.
I do.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Can we just please?
Please what? Help us give God.
Please testify.
It's not yet. People are not ready, Walter. People are not ready for that.
No.
The world is not ready for this.
Go on.
But you know what we are ready for?
Testament.
It's snakes. No. In shapeshift eyes. In Sumerian disguise. They'll be watching you. So, despite not reaching the Big Four status back in the day, reportedly because of bad business decisions and lineup changes, Testament has definitely earned itself an honorary 5th spot in the group, with Dark Roots of Earth in 2012 spawning a tour known as the Dark Roots of Thrash, which is, they should have changed the album name to that just because they can. Testament. Echoes.
Sorry about that.
Echo. Yeah. Was that back in the earlier video I did? Or thing? That sounds like it, but anyway. So they sort of honed a melodic. The cast is blah today. Yeah, what do you mean it's blah? It's fucking metal. All right. So they do have some more of that melodic thrash sound on the new album, but it goes without saying they've mastered the art of thrash metal, displayed by the hard-hitting, bone-crushing Wrath of God sound on Brotherhood of the Snake, the title track, as well as the Pale King, Cannabusiness, which is what I was referring to earlier, and the Number Game are my favorites. Cannabusiness was about sort of pro-weed legalization, which
marijuana.
Especially in the wake of, that was the only good thing to really come out of the election cycle, was at least Florida passed medicinal marijuana.
And California.
So progress, we're making progress. Yeah, is it? So some of the quotes from that are great. Stoned world order is bringing in the green. And then there's, yeah. But yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry, what was going on, or?
We're talking about weed.
In Testament.
Oh.
Cannabis.
Okay.
Cannabusiness.
So you didn't hear me talk about anything when you were talking about weed, right?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, good. I was just making sure. Never mind. That was just a temporary scare. Sorry. Let's just, Anyway, Testament.
Yes.
I like the Brotherhood of the Snake. That was a very good. Music video discussing, the pyramids and the all-seeing eye on the dollar bill and all that stuff. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think it was the guitarist's idea that it was based on not a cult, but like a sort of Assassin's Creed type Brotherhood back in the day, over I think 6,000 or 5,000 years ago. That was. The goal was of their Brotherhood was to just destroy all religion and then enslave humanity to mine the earth for gold and riches. And so that's why they say shapeshift eyes in Sumerian disguise. They'll be watching you because that's what they were. But yeah, it's pretty fucking badass. I think this is the most this is the best album out of them all in terms of just being pure thrash, and the fact that Chuck Billy is probably one of my favorite vocalists besides Ivan Moody and Joakim Broden of Five Finger Death Punch and Sabaton, respectively.
Sabaton.
Yeah. Sabaton. Yeah. The Pale King has a pretty cool concept. It's about it's about an alien, but it's like the way they do it is. Oh my god, it's just so cool. So cool. It's like Markiplier in that video about
space is so cool.
It's like universe sandbox or something. It's like space is so cool. Thrash metal is so cool. Thrash is so cool.
Alright, so some people might not. Before I talk about my thoughts on Testament, there was an incident that happened at MFF where curtains were not thick enough.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
Wait, what was not thick enough? Oh my god! Oh yeah, the curtains. I actually did watch it.
Wait, Krüz, you know what we're talking about, right?
Yes, the commentary.
We're not gonna talk about what we're. You guys can use your imagination.
Right tomorrow. No, I am not into that stuff.
The commentary was great.
But
the commentary was
it's
so
because it
good.
was censored and because the commentary was great that I did enjoy that. But it was not quite an incident, but it was just more like
an accidental fuck up.
In all intents and purposes, yes.
Emphasis.
I mean, they do. I think in most hotels, at least, they do give you like the regular blinds, and then the sort of see-through ones, and then the regular ones. That's why you use both of them.
Oh my god!
Especially make sure that if you look out the window, that you don't see another part of the hotel, that you see nothing. I mean,
Shepsky didn't see it.
My eyes.
Why don't?
Oh god!
You know what? You're gonna have to tweet that at him.
Yeah. But just to But just to let you guys know who aren't into what we saw, it just goes to show you, don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, it's accidental, literal fuck. That's basically. Well, it was kind of accidental. It was sort of like
people thought that the curtains were not thick enough, and they weren't. But we won't discuss what happened on the video. That's for you to decide. And we're not going to post the video up here because we'll get in a lot of trouble.
No, it's just
if you guys
sort of with YouTube.
It's sort of something you want to find on your own.
Oh yeah, I showed it to I showed it to Shudder and Naka, and they were like,
quite
wow.
Not quite explicit. I mean, you can tell clearly what's going on, but you can't. I mean, the curtains do provide a certain degree of censorship, but clearly not enough because you still see the silhouettes. But anyway,
yeah. But anyway,
it's just an entertaining thing because FurCons are always interesting events.
And at night.
At night.
Night. Taking out the trash. That's what I said when I was playing. I don't know. I was battling someone in Pokemon, and I'm like, I just beat them, and I'm like, taking out the trash at night. Yeah.
By the way, I'm gonna have to show one of my friends that video anyway. Anyway, let's move on. Let's not talk about that video anymore.
It'll spread enough on its own. Don't worry. Yeah, you should be scared. I mean, but anyway, as far as all these albums go, Testament, to my judgment, did earn a 10 because I mean they did have a few what are they called filler songs, but even those are pretty good. Like they have like as it goes, I don't really give a damn. It's my god.
Anyway,
it's just incredible. It's been a great. Say what you will about 2016. I believe it's been a great year for memes, for one thing. Oh my god! And then as well for metal, especially thrash, and that's what's been really exciting for me this year.
The commentary was so good.
It was so good.
Yes, the commentary was amazing on that.
I'm sorry, but
He's going to Pound Town.
I'm sorry, but this is going to be in the record books for a long time, and I mean a long time. This is going in the furry record library for a long time, and it is not coming out. Nothing will compare to that video.
No, especially because now they have it on video. In fact, God.
Oh.
I mean, I guess the best thing about that video is that no people's identity were technically exposed to it, and it's not like anyone's gonna know about it because they don't know who was in the video. But
only the people will know. They'll have to walk around with the cone of shame. They do not like the cone of shame.
Well, it's not like anyone is gonna. Yeah.
Dad, I'm sorry. If you're listening, if you listen to this in the future, I'm so sorry that you have to deal with me, and this is why I don't talk about.
There's a lot of things to be sorry for.
Sorry. Yeah. There's a lot of.
This was a big aside.
But anyway, moving on aside, and seriously, guys, for those of you, we do.
Yeah, we're sorry. We're very sorry.
I don't need eye bleach for seeing that video, but anyway.
Yeah, but as I will say again, I've told you guys this was coming. The resurgence of metal, it's back and it's better than ever. And on that metal note, we're going to move to video games with Naka with a trailer for a game I thought was incredibly done.
Yep, that would
Let's go.
Dead Rising 4. Dead Rising is returning to Microsoft.
The trailer was beautiful.
Yeah, it was
great. I'm so excited to see this.
Oh my goodness.
My sister had Dead Rising 3, and I thought that was really cool.
Uh-oh. Can't unsee. Oh. What have we done?
Yeah.
Well...
Yeah. We didn't... for the record, we did not tell you to watch it. We said you could watch it.
And to be frank, it's not like you're watching Brokeback Mountain. Suck it up.
No. I mean,
MPAA has worse censorship than that.
Deleted scenes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this once, Dad. Like, I know I'm not, like, that much of a troubled child, but I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this kind of crap and that I don't talk about it. But there's a reason why I don't talk about it. It's because I don't...
I didn't mean to.
Dad, just know that this is, like,
I had nothing to do with this.
I had nothing to do with this incident, but thank you for putting up with me. Same with anybody else of my family. But we gotta talk about Dead Rising. It's returning to Microsoft land. With the launch of Forza Horizon 3 a few months ago, all the Microsoft exclusives will now be... Yes, I was too, Shudder. All Microsoft exclusives will be able to be played on powerful Windows 10 PCs and Xbox Ones. Any Xbox One. The fourth game in the Dead Rising series is out just in time for Christmas. Seriously, listen to the music and watch some of the gameplay. There's a lot of Christmas stuff. Well, now, at least we're in December, so it's tolerable to listen to Christmas music. Dead Rising has always been the more humorous in the zombies genre. And it's refreshing to see comedy in zombies. Because, like, you have The Walking Dead, it's like, oh, it's all serious and everything. And then, like, a couple of other games. But, like, outside of Killing Floor... Maybe, unless like you're playing with a bunch of friends, you're playing Killing Floor and Call of Duty Zombies. The funniest game is Dead Rising. Expect crossplay with Windows 10 and Xbox One on the 6th of December.
Oh God, Shudder. Anyway, believe it or not,
that GIF. It's time to stop.
I know it is.
Can we honestly drop it for right now?
Yeah, let's drop it. Anyway, Dead Rising 4. My brother used to play Dead Rising, and he loved the game. And I'm surprised that they're making a Dead Rising 4 sequel out of this particular, Dead Rising 4. Like, haven't they gotten tired of it? But apparently, people who really like generic zombie games love generic games like this. So, who am I to? All right. I won't say it's generic, but.
I mean, it's kind of like it took like some of the weapons, the crazy weapons from Fallout, and put them in a more zombie game, which I think was pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. It's kind of, I mean, most games, zombie games, yes, are generic because it's kind of hard to be really creative with it. Because in the end, zombie game is a zombie game, but that's what people like to play. And besides that, I just think they did an amazing job with this trailer. Just it's so badass. The way he just rips rips up a bunch of like asphalt and makes it into like a giant sledgehammer. Mm-hmm. It's just so cool. And he's like he's on his own Twitter, whatever. He's like #Max is back.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of zombie games, but I'm pretty sure my brother would get it if he really wanted it. But that's really all I have to say about it. But hey, Dead Rising 4, it's back, it's bigger, it's better than ever. You guys like zombies, go for it.
This is the one I might get in addition to, I haven't gotten Battlefield 1 yet, even though I do want to get it because there's a lot, I've seen my roommate play it, there's a lot more of them, historical background and references, and actually explains the context of the battle you're fighting. Mm-hmm. It's cool, like, if the Turks had won the Suez, then it would have been seen as blah, blah, blah. This would have happened, stuff like that. Yeah. But anyway, a little bit.
Before I move on to our second and final game of the week, I want to say Forza Horizon 3 DLC coming out on Tuesday. There's only been some like hints on the Forza Motorsport forums, and I really don't remember them. But there are 7 cars coming on the 6th. Well, pretty much everything's coming out on the 6th this week. But, Forza Horizon 3 DLC, looking forward to. But now, my friends, we come up to the second and final game of the week, The Last Guardian. And holy heck, this game has been in development for about 10 years, along with Final Fantasy 15. What was once planned as a PS3 exclusive in 2011 has suffered numerous delays and has been pushed back to this week, in fact. The Last Guardian is a third-person action-adventure puzzle game where you control an unarmed boy who is fleeing captivity with a creature named Trico. The boy can run, jump, climb, and do other stuff, similar to Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. And where Trico can be an aid and can be ridden. Trico's emotions also factor into gameplay, giving The Last Guardian a whole new gameplay element. There are speculations that the game will end sadly, only because the previous 2 entries, well, by this studio, have ended that way, with Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation postulating that the game would end in a death of the boy, or Trico. But the creators have stated that the story is open-ended and for players to figure out. A good touch for story. The game will be out on the PS4 on the 6th of December.
Yeah, people have been excited for this game for a long time, and for a while I didn't understand why. But with The Last Guardian, like, I can understand. Hopefully, it's not going to be a game like Duke Nukem Forever, where it took X amount of years to be made. And
you sound like Jeremy Clarkson saying numerous. Yeah, welcome to Top Gear.
Stupid.
Shadow of the Colossus I haven't played, but I heard it's a great game. But yeah, Last Guardian, I honestly don't know what to think about it. Like, do you think it'll be fantastic, amazing? It certainly does look polished, and I'm surprised it's taken this long to be made. I mean, this is longer than Final Fantasy 15.
Like, if it's been delayed this long, people are probably expecting it to be perfect. I mean,
yeah, if it got this long, people are expecting this game to be perfect, and hopefully it's not going to be like Duke Nukem Forever.
Or
like,
No Man's
you know what
Sky.
Shigeru Miyamoto has a quote that says, a rushed game is forever bad, a delayed game is forever good, but that quote can only be taken so far. So hopefully, with the amount of years and years it has taken for this game to be made, hopefully it'll be at least above average.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but what do you think, Naka?
Well, I'm not a huge fan of these third-person, kind of open-world action-adventure puzzle games. I mean, Grand Theft Auto didn't really have puzzles. They had cars I could drive, so that's why I played that. But it does look really good, and I've seen gameplay of Shadow of the Colossus. I think you can just, like, you can ride a horse, and then you try and ride off a cliff, and you just fly off the horse.
I totally see what you mean.
I kind of hope that can happen in The Last Guardian. Only because it would be so funny just to watch your body fall down the cliff.
What do you think, Krüz?
Yeah.
Do you think it looks cute at least?
It looks really well, even though it's not gameplay footage, but I think they did it great.
Football has started, and the pipes are now working.
That's what I think of trailer. Oh, yep, that was just them testing the pipes. Yep.
Yeah. The pipes are working. We're fine.
That was the sound of the Ravens crushing the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But anyway, reference to the guy from Zero Punctuation. I love his review of Doom. He's like, because the challenges or the jump, whatever, jumping over the abyss, whatever, in Doom.
As long as it's not that reviewer who said that there's too much water in Twilight Princess. That person was an ass.
So he's like Zero Punctuation. The guy is like, he's like whatever. He's like it's not just ass from like the regular Doom. It's triple stock. The jump is like triple stacked ass with wet butter on the side. I love that. God, I'm like, there is no middle finger big enough.
Alright, I think that is it for The Last Guardian, but before we move on, I have some thank yous to give out. First of all, on Friday, I finally got the opportunity to play Forza Horizon 3 on a family friend's Xbox One S, and it felt so refreshing to play without having stutters or frame drops, and I could actually play at a very good resolution without having to decrease graphics settings. Second, Jimmy T 1996, or just Jimmy T, who subscribed about a month ago, needs thanking because he got me the first Killing Floor game with a bunch of DLC and Dangerous Golf, aka Burnout 3 the golf game. Speaking of Burnout 3, I am near 100%. I just need a few takedown goals. And I will 100% that game. And I need to thank Ted Stryker, the radio voice of Dangerous Golf and Burnout 3, for responding to my tweet the other day. That was public service announcement brought to you by Crash FM.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
So Scared just said, and wasn't there too much water in Wind Waker?
No.
That's not that. No,
that's not the point.
There wasn't. That's not the point. Like that. I mean, you don't know me. Anyway.
You don't know me.
You don't know me.
Yeah.
The only problem is if there's too much water in a game is if it's something where you're like allergic to the water, like in, let's say, Skate 3, where if you touch the water, you just instantly drown.
Oh.
Well, that's the same
also
case
in the Tony
in
Hawk games.
Yeah, and that's also the same case in Splatoon. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Hey, it wasn't on the agenda.
I think both of these games look really cool, and especially, as I said, Dead Rising trailer is so cool.
Anyway.
Read it again! No.
That was a public service announcement brought to you by Crash FM.
Okay, are you going to transition or what?
This
yes.
is a public service announcement.
I just did my public service announcement brought to you by Crash FM. And that's your cue. I think I should have told you this earlier. I was going to say that. Never mind. I winged it. Go on. We're moving on to with movies.
All right. All right. Since the release of arguably the most controversial film of the year, which I ended up seeing only just to see how bad it was, which was neither a success nor a failure, looks like Ivan Reitman, the director and producer of the original Ghostbusters, as well as producer to Ghostbusters 2016, has stated that there's going to be many other Ghostbusters movies. They're just in development right now. Now, obviously, those are some broad words to be had, because usually when you say something like that, it almost seems like it's just following the 2016 film, and I wouldn't be surprised if it did, but I would highly recommend checking the link out. Apparently, there were talks of making a separate Ghostbusters film starring male actors and being directed by the Russo brothers, who did Captain America Civil War. Yeah. But honestly, there's really not much hope for the franchise at all with this news. The first film was a box office disappointment, and it's possible the next couple films will be no different considering their treatment as well. The news really isn't all that surprising, to be honest. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think they're just trying to, just to make up for it. It's kind of like, I think it was the channel that does How Movies Should Have Ended, about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and it's like, I forget it was someone, and then George Lucas, and it's like, I'm very sorry for making this movie. Then Lucas is like, I'm not. So that's kind of the story of that movie. It seems
that's a very big very big amount of pride right there. But what do you think, Naka?
It just reminds me of I believe it was in the first episode of the latest season of South Park. Let's see, I gotta look it up. I believe it was just member berries, but where it's like member, but where Cartman's like, man, the new Ghostbusters movie sucked. I'm gonna go email my friends about how much this sucks. Something like that. I'm not sure, but anyway, I do not want Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters 2016 was such a below-than-par film, in my opinion. Like, I saw the film myself just to see how bad it really was. And while it wasn't cringeworthy as I thought it was going to be, it wasn't great either. And it only got worse it cemented itself as the most disliked trailer on YouTube. How worse can you possibly get from that, and how on earth can you recover from that?
Yeah, the thing about it a lot of controversy came from this, but the thing that really pissed me off was that the people who are supporting it or defending it, it's kind of like, we're at a point where identity is, it's like the content.
If you don't see it, that means you're misogynist, and if you do see it,
character of it doesn't matter anymore. Like, we can't evaluate the movie for what it really is. Like, we have to appreciate it because it's an all-female, or it's a primarily female cast or whatever. It's
right. You can make the Ghostbusters aliens for all I care.
That is a cool thing to do, but the problem is that you're defending it to the point where it's like, they could do a shitty job, and arguably they did, and we still have to not hate on it because that would be misogynist,
right?
It's like being your gender or whatever does not make you immune to criticism. It does not make you special. Like, it's complete. That's ridiculous. And I think that's what we're trying to. That's what these people were supposed to be fighting against, was judging people and labeling them. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah,
but they don't see that because ridiculous. They think their ideals are always correct.
Right, exactly. And you want to know something funny? Ridiculous. I think Ghostbusters 2016 would have been a really clever film had they decided to take a family tree route with the Ghostbusters who are female. Like, make them the daughters of the Ghostbusters.
No, they couldn't have done that because that would have been hailing the patriarchy. I mean, give me a fucking break, people.
I'm like, no, that actually would have been a very clever idea. That would have been a great idea.
Yeah.
And instead you gave us a film with not so funny actresses who are a bunch of bimbos and cameo appearances by the original cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Dickless over here. I mean,
you guys saw the film, right?
I didn't because I knew it was garbage.
I did not get to see it, but I mean, I saw enough. I saw enough to the point where I'm just like, I don't think this is. No, it's not worth seeing.
It's not horrible, but it's certainly not great.
It's like somebody breaks my phone, I'm just going to be like, oh man, women are so funny. I really laugh when Amy Schumer tells jokes and says vagina a lot. I can't do a good cartoon right now.
It's like, you don't think I'm funny? You're a misogynist. Like, no, I think you're not funny because you're not funny.
You're not funny.
Ever thought of that?
And this is just the misogynist... And this is just the sexist bullcrap that'll get your ass in jail. Sit your ass down. I love that part so much.
Attitude will get you thrown in jail. They did point that out. I mean,
girls rule, women are funny. Get over it. I love that part. I just love that line so much. But anyway, that's really all I have to say about Ghostbusters. You know, Ivan Reitman, I honestly don't know what he's thinking. I think he should have left well enough alone after the first film. And, you know, it's like Sony literally was like, I think they were like,
give me your money.
Purposefully taking off comments that were deemed negative toward the film.
I did see something on Twitter that I forget her name, the actress for one of the main roles was being harassed, I think both racially and sexually. And I mean, that I think that's entirely inappropriate and unacceptable. Like you should not do that just because, you know, you think maybe they're ruining the movie. Like, don't attack them personally. I mean, if anything, judge the movie, because that's, you know, that's where the issue lies. The issue does not lie in the actor or actresses.
And just so you know, there was a total Thriller ripoff in that entire film, and they didn't sing then they didn't put the Thriller song in it. Thank God, that would have caused even more controversy. But let's just say you can totally tell it's from Thriller. But anyway, Ghostbusters kind of makes me angry nowadays, and I think that we should just move on to next, the next film news that we have.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
By the way, I've turned my microphone down on the stream so you hear less shouting.
Okay, very, very good. Anyway, looks like HBO gives Sansa Stark a first look glance at Game of Thrones Season 7. While not huge news, it is in fact nice to hear, considering that the next season sadly will only be having 7 episodes due to global warming. This is because, they shoot in a way to make the weather and the shots look more effective and therefore more believable and authentic. Oh, and just a heads up, there are spoilers in certain images and paragraphs in this link, so read at your own risk if you don't want to be spoiled and watch to catch up on your own. Other than that, Game of Thrones Season 7, winter's coming, hypity, hype.
Yeah, you have to remember it's climate change now because they couldn't prove global warming.
Yeah, whatever.
In fact, there was more ice and ice caps.
We're still calling it global warming.
No, it's called climate change now. I mean, on it, like that's the.
Can we not get into these debates, please?
No, my professor, she's or poli-sci professor is an environmentalist. She calls it climate change because I mean that's more of an broadening term, I I guess.
Right.
Guess what?
Broadened.
The climate has changed millions and millions of times on this planet.
Yeah, just put a giant ice cube in the ocean. It'll work.
But anyway, like, what do you? I mean, I'm not too sure if you guys have taken a look at the link, see what it has to offer. But I will say,
Thrones.
you know,
I do not watch Thrones. In fact,
you should watch it. It's incredible.
When
I know I should.
When it was season 1 of this show, Thrones was going on for a lot of it. So literally, I would go to my aunt and uncle's house because because they'd have dinner and Thrones, and I'd just be sitting at one of the other tables on my own, listening to the show.
But dude, it's so good though.
Yeah, I mean, I would, but the problem is that right now I think I'm too far behind, and I would have to binge to catch up.
Oh, I binged already to catch up.
I'm not in a position to do that right now, especially because finals week is coming up.
Yeah, finals week is coming up. But anyway, that's really all I have to say about. Yeah.
My finals isn't for like another month.
Yeah, I think there's just not this upcoming week, but the week after that, but we're reviewing and all that shit, and oh god, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Anyway, that's really all I have to say about Game of Thrones. I want to move to our final movie news. So Swedish company H&M, known for their monopolizing stores selling a ton of fast fashion clothes, has released a brand new film short, and guess who directed it? That's right, one of my all-time favorite directors, and yours too, Wes Anderson. Known for making films such as Fantastic Mr. Fox and The Grand Budapest Hotel, he made a short film simply known as Come Together, possibly a riff from the Beatles, but there's none of that in this short film. However, I think this is a very heartwarming experience, especially for the holidays, and I think you guys will enjoy it. But I will say this, Wes. What's taking so long with your next film? Come on, stop keeping us waiting.
Is this isn't going to be in theaters, is it?
No, it's just a commercial.
That's it? It was just a commercial?
A short film.
Pretty much.
Oh. I thought that was the trailer for it, but I mean, for what it was, that was pretty cool. I mean, it was more than just a commercial. Like, it was one of those things that was actually supposed to be like a good, like, a message, or they actually took time to make it good.
They do. Wes Anderson does that with all of his films.
Yeah. Who's that actor?
Adrien Brody.
Yeah, because I thought that's what you were saying Wes Anderson was, and I'm like, wait. What?
Wes Anderson was only. Wes Anderson is a god. If you ever come near him, have him sign your copy of Fantastic Mr. Fox and call it a day, because he's great. He's a great director. I really admire him and respect him. What do you think about this particular short film, Naka?
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, really?
Yes, because it was less about Black Friday and murdering for savings, and more joy and what Christmas is actually supposed to be about.
I agree.
Because I mean, I was spoiled that they there's kind of going to be a delay. It almost kind of seemed like a Polar Express kind of theme.
I don't like the Polar Express.
Of course, because it was a train. What do you mean you don't like the Polar Express? I mean,
I don't like the Polar Expresses. I don't like the Polar Express because of its CGI animation. And
I mean, I'm not talking about. I mean, I saw
with their soulless eyes, as well as as well as the songs that the songs got way too goofy. I didn't like any of it.
Hey, Rockin' on Top of the Road was actually pretty good. But
oh, come on, that's the only one that gets a pass because Steven Tyler was part of it.
Yeah, that's exactly why. But I read the. I don't want to say I read the book. I was shown the book, the original, art. I don't want to say it's like a picture book of the story, and I enjoyed that. The movie, now looking back on it, was really weird with the CGI, but I do like the story. I'll say that much. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just wish it was made differently. I just don't like the CG in it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Some of these movies I think could have been made a little bit later. So they tried a little too early, and they had to do it with the CGI that they had available at the time, which was really creepy-ish.
Yeah,
they should have used the animation they used for Shrek.
No.
You reposted in the wrong swamp.
Alright, I do want to make a quick little announcement.
Okay.
The Treehouse is getting new internet on December the 13th, which is not a day that we are broadcasting, but we are getting much, much faster internet.
Yes, thank God.
Thank goodness we can finally ditch CenturyLink.
It's amazing how much internet we can get into a forest when there's practically no reception in a forest.
Yeah.
That's why you have to have a really, really, really long Ethernet cable like I do. Yeah, my mom's like 50 feet cable. Is this gonna be long enough? It might not be at the right. It might be at the opposite end of your dorm. I'm like,
was it long enough?
Oh, there's like a ton of there's like at least 10 feet of it is like coiled up. It's more than long enough.
Oh, wonderful.
Because it's weird because the hookup for that to the Ethernet is like on the top corner of a room, and I just run it behind the desk, and then it goes up to my computer. It's like 50 feet. Is that going to be long enough? I'm like, Mom,
no.
25 feet. I think it's going to be fine. The dorms are probably not that big.
Yeah.
Turns out they were that big.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the only movie news that I have, and I guess we can move on to our films that are coming soon to theaters. A movie that releases during Christmas time? Awesome. And what better way to do it than the people who brought you Lady Humps by the Black Eyed Peas? Or rather, what Will Ferrell said. That's right, director of Blades of Glory, Josh Gordon and Will Speck is now coming out with their very first holiday film, Office Christmas Party, an upcoming American Christmas comedy film directed by Gordon and Speck and written by Justin Malin and Lauren Solon, based on a story by John Lucas and Scott Moore, known for writing the Hangover films. The film stars Jason Bateman in his not Zootopia voice, Olivia Munn, T.J. Miller, Jillian Bell, Courtney B. Vance, Kate McKinnon, Randall Park, and Jennifer Aniston. When Xenotech's CEO Carol Van Stone tries to close the branch of the hard-partying Brother Clay, he and his chief technical officer must rally their coworkers and host an epic office Christmas party in an effort to impress a potential client and close a sale that will save their jobs. Now, I don't know if this film will bomb or not, and I certainly have no way of telling what will happen, but I must confess. When you take the mind behind Nick Wilde, the funny guy from Deadpool who says the funny things, and a woman who has had a very colorful yet lovable career choice, I highly see no wrong here, especially when you got the directors who directed Blades of Glory. Great comedy, by the way.
Blades of Glory. I love that.
So you know what? I'm willing to give this movie a chance and see it more as an average comedy than may or may not have stuff to offer you guys. But you know what? I'd actually like to see it. I mean, I understand that it looks like a film that will probably just release and soon everyone will forget about it. But you know what? It actually looks funny. So you know what? Hopefully I've given you enough of a reason when the movie comes out on December 9th. What do you guys think?
I'm actually looking... I actually do kind of want to see this, I'll be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I haven't seen a good, let's throw a wild party, break stuff, crash a car into a river kind of movie in a while. And I mean, it's thematic, I guess.
Dopinder and Deadpool? No. Shudder, the funny guy from the bar who says the funny things.
T.J. Miller.
Yeah. Yes.
What's with the fancy red suit, Mr. Poole?
What do you think? What do you think about this commercial? Trailer. The commercial. What do you think about this trailer, Krüz?
Sort of with Naka, at least on the thing. Like, I haven't seen one of those, stupid kind of. I don't want to say stupid in a bad way, but it's dumb comedy kind of. I did kind of a Hangover movie feel from this. I haven't seen a movie kind of like that in a while, and I feel like this would be a refreshing way to do that, especially because the cast looks promising with, Bateman, Miller, and I mean sometimes Jennifer Aniston is actually pretty funny, but I mean, if she's given a good script, at least. But yeah,
I don't think Friends was the best of scripts. I'll be honest, but
yeah.
Wait, how does that line go where Deadpool pinky swears on Dopinder's finger? You gotta hold tight and never let go. I love that part. Do you?
Yeah. Maximum effort.
Maximum effort.
cock shots. Anyway.
Yeah, got my chrome penis friend over.
Right up Main Street.
Yes.
All right.
Anyway, we can move on to our second and final film of the that is being released. Hold on, let me just get prepared before you before you put the link out.
I'm just really excited for this one. I think. He thinks.
Well, after a habit of watching this teaser trailer over and over again, I cannot get this movie out of my head no matter how hard I try. I see posters of it and advertisement of this film everywhere, and now we finally get to talk about it before it releases. Damien Chazelle, the director of the critically acclaimed Whiplash and co-writer of 10 Cloverfield Lane, is now bringing, in my opinion, what everyone has been calling soaring, gorgeous, and romantic, and the must-see movie of the season. I already think it's safe to say that this movie will be a masterpiece. The film is called La La Land, a 2016 American romantic musical comedy drama film written and directed by Damien Chazelle and starring Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, John Legend, Rosemary DeWitt, and J.K. Simmons. It is the third film to feature Gosling and Stone as lovers, following Crazy Stupid Love and Gangster Squad.
Gangster Squad was pretty good.
Gangster
for Quad.
Yeah. Aside from the film's title as a reference to both a nickname for the city of Los Angeles, which I live in, as well as a euphemism for a state of being out of touch with reality, La La Land opens up in the heart of Los Angeles, as inspiring actress Mia serves lattes to movie stars in between auditions, while dedicated jazz musician Sebastian plays in dingy bars in order to scrape by. The two meet and fall in love, but as success mounts, the dreams they work so hard to maintain threaten to tear them apart. This is an original musical about everyday life and explores the joy and pain of pursuing your dreams. And this is the trailer that I think all of you, including my Wolf brothers here, to just look at the trailer. Look at those warm colors. Look at the contrast between the purple skies. And look at the scene where Gosling and Stone are flying in what I only can assume seems like outer space to touch dazzling stars and galaxies.
It kind of reminds me of, real quick, of something I think was on America's Got Talent, where these people did they sort of had like ropes or whatever, like holding, or strings, like holding them up, and they were like doing those swimming motions in front of a screen. Right, like projecting those kind of images of like the ocean and stuff.
Yeah,
that's kind of what that reminds me of. I think, if nothing else, this is probably gonna be a really
knock knock.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a really beautiful looking movie.
Yeah, I agree. The colors, the lighting, the tone, the choreographed movements and dancing, Stone's voice singing in the trailer. I mean, everything just pops. I can understand if you guys liked Whiplash, especially seeing how this film seems like a downgrade from fast-paced drum beats, but you have to realize something. A lot more money, therefore a lot more effort has been put into getting every little detail just right about this film. And quite honestly, at least for me, not only do I think this film will exceed Whiplash's expectations, but surpasses them. I can't wait to see this film as it comes out on December 9th as well. I hope you all see this trailer. I hope you all see this movie. I hope you all love this movie. That's all I can say. Krüz, what do you think?
I think, like Whiplash, like Whiplash, I think this is going to be the one of those rare, what I want to call, like, I want to say sort of original movies. Like, it's not like, what do I want to say? Original is like, I wasn't as into like jazz drumming or anything like as, anyone would have been for Whiplash, but it's just sort of like a new thing that you go in, you don't know what to expect, and it's sort of an original story in a way. I don't know how else to say it. I want to say they're like wholesome, kind of natural, thorough, organic kind of movie. It's its own thing.
Organic.
I don't know. I mean, I just kind of said that when I was high once. I said like that looks organic, or you know what I mean. But it's kind of a natural thing. But yeah, I think it's a rare movie. You don't get these very often. That's like it's actually a good story.
Yes.
This one looks promising.
Oh,
what do you think? What do you think, Naka?
It's
if
like
I made any sense at all.
It's like Whiplash mixed with The Great Gatsby, the film, not the
book.
book.
I was about to say that. It has a bit of Gatsby in there too.
Periodically incorrect.
When you say Whiplash mixed with Great Gatsby, what examples from Whiplash are you exactly taking?
Whiplash is in like kind of the music elements and how Whiplash was kind of focused a lot on music, but Great Gatsby in that sort of like, you know, kind of that, you know, everything's good in LA, everything's, you know, happy and everything. We're all trying to cherish the moment and everything.
Society kind of.
Yeah, what do you guys think of the colors and the lighting and the choreographs?
Oh, they're so pretty.
Oh, you like it?
I think
yes.
I think that's what I think they did. That I think that if they nail that, which I imagine they based on the trailer, they probably have nailed it, and they have they have a good story, and then I think this one's going to be a really really good movie. I mean, normally I'm not as into the romantic movies, but I think this one is one of those, as I said, kind of one of those rare ones where it's just kind of like, you know, you don't always know what to expect from it, and it actually, you know, you can like it, even though, I mean, you may not even like jazz, you may not even like drumming or music at all, but you can still identify with Whiplash. And I think this is kind of going to be the same way with, I imagine what they're doing is like a musical and sort of like theater type stuff.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously a lot more money has been put into this film than Whiplash with its measly $3.3 million, where La La Land has $20 million.
Small loan for $1 million.
Yeah. Well, not small loan, but you know, a budget. Let's just say that. But anyway, when it comes to that, however, do you think this film will be better than Whiplash, or are you will Whiplash just always have, you know, a close piece of your heart inside, even though you like La La Land a little bit more?
It's hard to say right now because, you know, I haven't seen La La Land yet, but I think I might just like Whiplash. Have been liking Whiplash more because it's got that good mix of not just romantic not like, as I mentioned, this one might be some romantic comedy, but that one had just, they let J.K. Simmons be himself, and Miles Teller, I think I got his name right, did just that back and forth was incredible. And I mean, it's just sort of like a real life, down to earth kind of movie.
And what do you right?
But I still think this one looks like it's going to be really good.
Oh yeah.
And what do you think, Naka?
The cake. I mean, as much as
a lot of people say that this film will be nominated for Best Original Song, obviously, but will also be nominated for possibly Best Picture, and it deserves to. It really does. I'm looking at this trailer. It looks Oscar worthy. I'm already counting on it getting a Best Picture nomination. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think this one's a guaranteed nominee.
Yeah, but what do you think, Naka, about this film? Do you think it'll be?
Oh, it'll be
better,
award-winning.
Better. Do you think it'll be better than Whiplash, even though Whiplash has a special place in your heart, or do you think it'll be?
I think with a bigger budget, they have a little bit more to play with, but they're taking that money that they're playing with and they're using it to further progress and improve the movie, not just waste it on some cheap caviar at some stupid bar in New York at 2:30 in the morning.
Right, and what do you think about the music that was used in this particular trailer? Because every time I listen to it, it's beautiful to hear Emma Stone sing that song every time I play the trailer. Yeah. What do you think, Krüz?
I don't remember it word for word, but I do remember the general gist of the song, and I think it's kind of like one of those I want to say romantic movies. Not like romantic isn't just about being about love, but it's kind of like one of those, I want to say romanticized. It's kind of like Gatsby in that way, sort of romanticizing the idea of wealth and fame and partying and stuff like that.
Right.
I think it's sort of like that for the theater.
I kind of wonder if the chat has saw the trailer themselves, because not a lot of people have said anything, because they were probably listening to what we had to say. But for me, I really want to see it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, this is what I would spend my money on, for me anyway. Would you guys spend your money on this?
Most likely, yeah. I'd be seeing it with my family.
And would you probably see it like during Christmas time? I mean, like after, of course, you see Rogue One or whatever.
Most likely, yes.
I just hope La La Land is good. But that's really all I can say about it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll be like... I don't know if this is like a theater movie for me, because, I mean, for me, like, Rogue One would be, and Doctor Strange would be like theater movies, even though I have not seen Doctor Strange yet. I did see...
I saw it.
I did see Fantastic Beasts in theaters.
I think, by the way, Fantastic Beasts was a great movie, and to me, I think it's a bit underrated.
Yeah, I liked it. It was I think... I don't know if this was in the chat or not, but it's kind of like how I saw it was like... It's kind of the thing I don't like, but it's like... It's where you're always waiting for it to get to the good part. But by doing that, it keeps you into the movie, and then it's a more flowing story. I think...
Yeah.
It does.
It has
that
a
really
great.
well.
It has a fantastic coming out story, in my opinion.
The cast was great, especially what's his face, who does Jacob. He was amazing, amazingly funny with his facial expression.
Which Jacob?
The baker.
Okay, good. I thought you were talking about Jacob Black for a second. I'm like, no. Fuck no.
No.
But yeah. By the way, did you know that the person who played Jacob is from Balls of Fury?
Yeah, his like constant expression of like shock is like hilarious. He's just like,
I know.
What? He's like, your skull is susceptible to high impact something, and I'm like, oh, that's good to know.
Oh, that's good.
And anyway,
puts on the leather helmet.
But anyway, that's all I have to say about La La Land. I am personally excited. I hope you guys in the trailer have seen it. I really want to see it.
Trailer have seen it.
Another Freudian slip. Guys in the chat have seen it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I have to say about La La Land. You guys both want to see it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think this is not a theater movie for me. Not to say it's not good, but I think it might be something just to watch at home, maybe over the holidays or something. I mean, we might actually go see it because I know we're going down to Florida for the holidays, so
I might ask my boss if I can have La La Land, the poster rather, because I really want to get the poster. But anyway,
that'd be cool.
But anyway, that is all. That is it for coming soon to theaters. Now let's get into coming attractions. And we have a total of 9 coming attractions here, ladies and gentlemen. We might as well start off with the one that nobody cares about, Smurfs The Lost Village. Don't care to see it. Yeah, we're just pointing it out there. Yeah, moving on.
My only thought on this was like, okay, I'm like, what are they going to do next? How could they possibly try to redeem this and make it relevant in any way? And of course, it's like, oh, there's a lost Smurf society that we don't know about.
It's all in CG because they decided that they
just fuck it.
It's all in CG because they decided that the live action route wouldn't actually be good.
Okay, with the Smurfs, God no, like why?
Yeah, I don't care to see Smurfs. I might as
well.
Now
is this the Smurfs or is this the Blue Man Group?
I might as well just move on to the next film. Next coming attraction, Detour.
I like this one. This one looks really interesting.
What do you think about this one, Naka?
I'm very confused. It's like it's dealing with mental issue because like there's two, like there are a lot of the trailers like in that 2 different points of view. It's like bipolar or BPD or MPD, and it's just like it's really confusing. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just confused about what's going on.
I think if you caught the line that the one guy said, it's like if you had said no or something, you would still just be sitting here. And so the other him was like him if he had not said yes to the guy who was basically offering to be his hitman on the people he hated. So he's like, you get to live a clean life and I'll do the work for you kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, inevitably things start going to shit. So I think that's what the split thing was for. It was
Yeah, they're really. I can't tell what's going on in this film. Honestly, I don't even understand why I'm even talking about it. I guess I just wanted to bring it up because, well, I guess we're talking about it one of these days. But that's all I have to say about it. I want to move on to the next coming attraction now. The Belko experiment. This one is interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Like I kind of like the idea of an entire building just basically having a sense of supercomputer control. And I don't know about you guys. What do you think, Naka?
Like when I just saw the building, it's like, oh hey, I know where this is going. It's the middle of nowhere, and it's like I see all the people happy. It's like, oh, I definitely know where this is going. Something's going to take control, and they're going to want to kill everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of expected what it was going to be, but it's definitely going to be a very interesting film, and I hope it does well.
What do you think? What do you think, Krüz?
I think I like the idea of it's kind of like it's kind of got that Saw concept of you've got to do this or else we're going to kill someone some other way, and I think that's interesting. Because I think it in of itself, it might not do this, but it might be a fourth wall thing. Not fourth wall, but like the whole movie is an experiment to see of like who will try to keep the peace, who will just try to kill people immediately, and like who's going to do what, how many people are going to end up surviving. I think that's sort of what I got from it. And I saw Jacksepticeye recently playing a game called It's Always Monday, and it's where you sort of can't escape from your office. You have to do different things to try to escape. And I think it's going to be one of those cool, creepy kind of, what's the movie? Eagle Eye. You remember that?
Yeah, I saw Eagle Eye. I actually really enjoyed it.
It's going to be kind of like that with the AI thing telling you what to do, and it's threatening to kill you if you don't do what it says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all I really have to say about it. Now we're going to move on to the next coming attraction, which I think is a very interesting piece because it is directed by Martin Scorsese.
That's
Silence.
So good. Oop. Sorry,
So really? Like you actually like this trailer?
Oh yeah, no, it's
really
got
cool.
a very interesting plot and story, great visuals, great music, and there's like religious tones in it, and I'm not religious myself. I'm just pointing that out there, but religion is definitely a part of the plot and story. It's adding a good element to it.
Yeah, it really is.
I was wondering, like, if this was like something like Cambodia or whatever, where it was like.
I think they're visiting Japan. Like,
yeah, maybe. But like, if it was like a regime and there are people trying to bring Christianity into the country, like, versus like, I'm not overtly religious, but I was born in an Irish family, Roman Catholic. But so I do understand that aspect of religion that people.
I'm surprised you don't have an Irish accent. You should.
Well, I didn't grow up in Ireland. I did grow up in Baltimore, so I do have a little bit of that accent sometimes when I do say home.
But you can do an Irish accent pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty
if
well.
I'd like to, I could do it. But I didn't really do it that time. But anyway, I do really like the sound of this movie. Sound of Silence. Tell me, if you could change your fate, would you?
Oh God, not that movie, please.
I didn't know what that was from, but
and that's not even Irish. That's Scottish.
It's close enough, but one of my Scottish friends said that is like, the Irish sound all happy and whatnot, and we just sound sad. Like, yeah.
No,
the Irish are always happy.
But seriously, what do you think about this particular film? Because this looks amazing. I almost wanted to show my friend this particular movie because this looks great. Like, I have had friends who have been in that situation where they were preaching the gospel in a country where they practice communism, and the country.
It's really, as I said, this is what I understand. Like, it's really dangerous to do that,
and people still have the balls to do it. So I think this film will be good. I don't know about you guys, but this film looks incredible. And what do you think, Naga? Do you want to see it?
Oh yeah, I've already told you. It was like, that's why this film looks so good already.
It's Scorsese material. Yeah.
By the way, Scorsese made films like Hugo and Shutter Island. No, there's no Shutter Wolf on Shutter Island, and I have seen Shutter Island before, but you know.
Is it that cool? Like, I don't want to say I was hoping this was a horror movie, but it's kind of like one of those. What I want to say, not a thriller necessarily, but a suspense film.
Right.
About like, how did they do this? How did they get out alive? Stuff like that.
Mm. Oh, and by the way, I can't believe it's starring Adam Driver from the Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
that's something you don't see every day.
And what's his name? There's Liam Neeson, and then
James Garfield.
Is that who that other actor is?
Yeah, James Garfield.
Yeah, he's
it was Adam Garfield.
Believe it or not, that film has been in production for like 7-8 years now, because they were trying to find the right actors to play it, and all the actors kept having, you know, problems and all that stuff. Originally, it was going to star Daniel Day-Lewis, which, in my opinion, I think it would have been a better choice, seeing how Daniel Day-Lewis is a method actor. You know, that's part of the reason why Lincoln is so good. You see, because he doesn't just, you know, act in the role. He literally, like, practices it, takes the role home with him, and acts as if he's actually in the designated role. But that's all I have to say about Silence. I want to see it. That's all I can say. But we'll talk about more about it when we get into it. Our next coming attraction is The Comedian, and they finally did it, folks. They put Danny DeVito with with
Robert De Niro.
Yes,
that's gonna be so great. It's like, what did you do to this 800-pound gorilla in the room? What did you do to him? He was 6 feet tall when he married you.
And they're both. I forgot. Is Danny DeVito from New York City? I forgot.
I don't know.
I know Robert De Niro's from New York City, but but this is like comedy gold, and I don't know about you guys, but this looks great. What do you think?
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna search that up. Danny DeVito. Is he from like New York or? Oh, he's from Jersey. Okay. He's from Jersey. Okay. Well, New York and New Jersey tend to get really along, so for that,
close enough.
I don't know about you guys, but they need to make a crossover, like a pure crossover with Robert De Niro and Danny DeVito. That'd be great. That would be awesome. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
Wait, what?
What?
Nobody remembers that from Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Oh, I've never seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I live in the garbage. I'm the trash man. I'm just quoting stuff that Danny DeVito said in Always Sunny.
Oh, God.
I forget that.
Yeah, he's from Jersey. But anyway, I forgot to, going back real quick to Silence. I just hope that movie will be better than. I wonder if the movie will be better than Wolf of Wall Street. Probably not, but
how dare you?
I don't know. I mean, that was just a special movie.
They
just went all out on it.
And it was great. Yeah.
There
have you
weren't
seen
even
it?
wolves in it.
Hey, well, there weren't any foxes in Foxcatcher either.
Yeah. It's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a wolf in no, it's like, what do you say? A wolf in the something?
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
I think so.
Pretty much.
Like that.
But anyway, The Comedian, that's really all I have to say about it. I might as well just move on to the
Elephant in the room.
next. Yeah, Elephant in the Room. Well, it looks like Pixar is doing the money cash grab again, and it's a sad thing to see because Pixar was just now getting back up on its feet with no, that's not Pixar.
Oh.
Inside Out, and Finding Dory. Cars 3. Pixar. Okay.
It's time to stop.
No. It's not even that. I understand that you're really trying desperately to make it look like it's going to be an emotional film. You're called freaking Cars.
You can get fixed.
There is nothing about this film that is literally saying that it's going to go to a dark turn, because Cars 2 was not a good movie. Cars was an average movie, and I don't even know what Cars 3 is going to be about. But I do know that it's going to be directed by John Lasseter. If I'm not right, correct me if I'm wrong.
It's John Lasseter.
That's pretty much what John is doing. He's basically just taking his experiences and putting it into a movie, because I know Doug Walker doesn't really care about Cars at all. And to be honest, he kind of made me see that light, especially with Cars 2. And yes, I've seen every Pixar film known to man. You bet my ass I'm going to be seeing Cars 3. I don't have high hopes for it. The only reason why I'm seeing it is because I've seen every Pixar film. I've seen every Disney film. That's really all I have to say. Yeah, it's my job to see every Disney film ever made. It's not my job to see every DreamWorks film ever made, because they try, but not all the times they succeed.
No. Anyway.
But that's really all I have to say. What do you think, Naka, Krüz?
All right, I want to go first. Here's what I have in my notes. Kill him! Kill him! Wait, no, that's wrong. Hey, look, there's supposedly an actual conflict this time, and they're actually going back to a focus on racing, not this spy crap.
Spy? What
so you'd really think that this film would do better than Cars 2? At least?
Yes. Because it's more of a racing focus, and that was what the first one was also about. There was more. Would you
go far to say as it would become quote unquote Pixar material, being like as good as, say, Finding Nemo or Finding Dory?
It's not going to be on that level, but
okay.
Yeah, I don't think
that I can agree
close to that. Yeah, it's not going to come anywhere close to that. But I mean, I think based on the trailer, I think it's because like it went real dark, real fast.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have to explain that, and hopefully that will.
I mean,
something interesting.
I just don't see it going to be. I mean, the trailer is dark, but is the movie going to turn dark? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
And I'm just not getting that from that trailer. And obviously we'll talk more about it when we get into it, but that's all I have to say about Cars 3. Naka?
I've already kind of gone over it. I
Krüz?
do want to bring something up.
Okay.
Real quick. I do play some of the older Cars games because they're fun to play.
Really?
Yeah. Like the Cars video game, the one that came out for the Xbox 360, PS2, GameCube, and the Wii. I'm currently playing that one right now because it's fun, and it was also a little bit of my childhood.
I see what you mean.
Okay.
And Krüz, is that all you have to say about Cars 3?
The first one, I think, it was all right. I mean, it's kind of like I didn't see
the second one was pure shit.
I didn't see where they could go with it. I mean, because I didn't even bother to see second ones. I didn't even bother to see Planes or Turbo. I'm just like
Planes isn't even from. Planes and Planes 2 isn't even from Pixar, so those don't even count.
I thought they were Disney movies.
I thought they were because I thought they just kind of went on a race.
No, they're like strictly from Disney, but they're not part of the Disney Animation Classics catalog.
Yeah, not by a long shot. No. It's kind of like, this is kind of they're just doing it for the name at this point. And I think they're just trying to finish it. And hopefully this does not turn out to be like the Shrek thing where it's like, okay, we can stop now. Okay, guess not.
They should have stopped after Shrek 2, because Shrek 2 was the better picture of all of them.
Shrek 2 was the best. And Shrek 4 actually had a few genuinely funny moments, but that's about it.
Shrek 3 was absolute garbage.
Yeah, Shrek 3 was not good.
But Shrek 2, you definitely want to see it. It's a comedic marvel. But anyway, that's all I have to say about Cars 3. Moving on?
Yes, moving on to...
Okay, Barry. This is I believe it's a film that's being released on Netflix.
Young.Peace.
And...
Young.Peace.
Okay. And for the record, it's about Barack Obama and his young life before he became president of the United States. And from the first looks point, it actually looks kind of decent. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Okay, and what else?
I always like kind of these travel back in time kind of, background movies on famous people. And, I don't know, maybe Obama himself kind of worked on this too, just adding in some of the story because, well, it's Obama we're talking about, for one, and for two, he's actually not a scandalous president to make movies about, so... Well,
right.
I mean, there's a little bit of scandal, but not like huge, like, oh, this person did drugs, oh, there's impeachment.
Yeah. I mean, that's really all I have to say regarding Cars 3. Cars 3. Barry, what do you think, Krüz?
Yeah. So I'll preface this with, believe it or not, at one point, I did get to meet President Obama. He came golfing on a golf course that is near our it runs through our backyard, sort of.
A quick question.
Yeah. What?
How many bodyguards were there?
There was the Secret Service. They were on those Gator Jeep things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had the wands out. They gave us like a little pin thing that said Secret Service on it, which was pretty cool.
So you actually got to meet President Obama, or you didn't get to go close to him or anything like that?
Oh, I did. We got to shake his hand. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, I mean, I do have general respect for politics, and because obviously, he's not the worst president ever.
Just to let you know, we're not getting into the election or anything like that.
No.
But I think it's kind of been an iffy presidency, to say the least, because but I do like that they have this, that they do the more humanizing kind of story, like, because that's his background, and like when you look at that, you start to see it for who the person really is, and it's not just propaganda or whatever supporting their positions and all that crap. Because I mean, through the 8 years, we've had enough of that. But I think this is going to be refreshing, which it's kind of weird. I mean, it kind of makes sense why they wouldn't do this before or like during his presidency, because that kind of would have been a little bit awkward, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, people would have started asking a lot of questions. But I think it's pretty cool. I'll say that. I mean, now I'm not a Democrat or a liberal, but I do still think that it's something that's worth showing that, politics, these people are not just assholes, just most of them. Some of them are actual humans.
Yeah, like Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. DNC shouldn't have screwed him over.
No, they shouldn't. But anyway,
moving on.
Let's go to our next trailer, next coming attraction, The Book of Love. And yes, that name, the character in the movie does seem familiar. That is actually Maisie Williams, the girl who plays Arya Stark in Game of Thrones.
Oops.
I wouldn't have known.
What do you guys think of this film?
F off, Amber Alert.
Amber Alert.
Yeah. No, but really, what do you think about this film?
It's got some charm to it.
It does.
It's sort of interesting to me, sort of not. It's kind of one of those mixed signals. I might see it, I might not. I don't want this movie to suffer or fail.
I see the movie as just there. To be honest, like I'm more excited about Maisie Williams' Arya Stark role than I am this film. That's not to say she won't do a good job, but that's what she's known for.
It's kind of I think seems like it doesn't seem like it's going to be as good, but it's kind of similar to Beast of the Southern Wild. That was a great movie, but this one's kind of
Beast of the Southern Wild. I saw it. I cried. I loved it. It was beautiful movie. Yeah. I highly recommend seeing Beast of the Southern Wild.
I think this one is going to be, it's kind of going after that kind of style, but it's also it's way overplaying the emotion versus just, it's putting it all there and letting it work itself out. I think that's what Southern Wild did a really good job of. They just put it all there, and you saw it through their eyes, raw, uncensored. And that's really what
raw, uncensored emotion, and that's what is so human about Beast of the Southern Wild. It's one of my all-time favorite films. I'd go as far to say it's one of my top 10. And if you haven't seen it, you totally owe yourself to see it, because just think about an explosion in a paint factory. You can't really tell what the artist is. You can't really tell what the art looks like because it's too abstract. But it's so abstract in a way where you can come up with your own imagination. And that's this film.
Yeah. For the reference, it's I think it's about Hurricane Katrina. It's like after the levees broke, and it's how people were dealing with living at the time, and they were living in what they called the bathtub.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because it was swamped.
Bath time.
Bath time.
Anyway, what do you think, Naka?
I mean, I've already kind of put my thoughts out there.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess we can move on to our final coming attraction, and this was made just in time for Sunday, we were able to get it just right after it was announced. Ladies and gentlemen, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yes.
Who doesn't want to see this film?
I am Groot. My God. I just have to say, first off, from the trailer, it's like, seriously? Like, you don't have any tape? You have an atomic bomb in your bag. If anyone's going to have tape, it's going to be you.
I have to say this right now.
Oh, my God.
I have to say it right now. Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon up close is the most cutest thing I've ever seen. I've never got to see...
Pushing the button. I am Groot. Yes. I am Groot. I am Groot. No!
I'm going to say this right now. I'm not really on board with Baby Groot at all. I'm not really on board with it.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm not hating on Baby Groot. It's just
I mean, I'm not overly excited just to see Baby Groot, but I do like that scene. Like Rocket's trying to explain to him what the button does, and then Groot just keeps making the motion of him pressing it. He's like, no.
Keep in mind, Vin Diesel gets paid like $100,000 every time he says, "I am Groot."
Yes. In that order.
Yes.
I am in Groot. In that order. You just told your deepest and darkest secrets. You must be
that was so funny. That was so great. What do you think?
Yes.
Did you like that part, Naka?
Oh yeah, no, that was awesome.
You must be so embarrassed. Do me.
I had no idea that Batista could be so comical at times.
Oh man, I love it when
I just love. I think he's got more opportunity for comedy in this movie. He's like, "Do you need a hug?" No, I do not. He's like, "I just said no. You're welcome."
But yeah, I am excited for this film. I'm not excited for Baby Groot, sadly. It kind of doesn't do anything for me. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to like Baby Groot, but it's coming off to me as more annoying than it is charming. I'm sorry to say. But
everybody's entitled to their own opinion, even if it's wrong.
Yeah. The fun part.
Okay, well, just you wait until I get my master's degree, where I graduate in criticism and theory, and that just means that my opinion is better than yours. Na.
No, it just means it's more certified. Wikipedia verified.
I know. But anyway, everyone is excited to see this film. I'm excited. By the way, just real quick, just a moment. I just want to type something up here. Hold on 1 second. Doopa-doo. Sorry, hold on.
Doopa-doo-pa-doo. It sounds like my new
rock
album.
Extra points for using Fox on the Run as the song for the trailer.
I did not know what the song was, but I just liked it.
I just hope the film is good, if not better than the second one, and hopefully, for the love of God, we get some character development with Rocket Raccoon, which we never got in the first film.
There's not much really there, but yeah, we're getting really confused because the guy who was at Anthracon, he was it says on IMDb that guy there, he did like the early recordings of it, like he was the first actor.
who would have done it, but then Bradley Cooper took over, and I'm not sure if he's still in this one.
He is,
but he is. Is he do the more like I don't want to say like sort of like raw voice?
I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure. Like that'd be kind of cool if they're just able to flip between.
All I can say is Rocket Raccoon up close looks fucking adorable. I want to give him a hug.
Who doesn't?
And then he's gonna pop it. He's just gonna kneecap you, probably.
Or Brady, yeah, be like an actual raccoon, bite you in the ankle, and run off.
Yeah.
What's a raccoon?
I just hope the movie's good.
Oh yeah.
But it probably will be. I have the soundtrack for Guardians of Volume 1. I'm probably gonna get Volume 2 as well. But anyway, why don't we move on to letters and then we'll get to our thoughts of the week.
Oh yeah, letters. I almost forgot about that. Anyway, time to open up the mailbag.
Dude, good guys, Anaka, you just fucked up.
What?
You just put the thing in the chat.
Sorry.
What?
Well, it's too late. Guess we're moving on to thoughts of this week, people.
Soiled it.
You just soiled it. Anyway.
Soiled it. We'll do letter after the thought of the week.
All right. 20 years ago, Warner Brothers released a little... Okay, well, you need to keep your fingers not vibrating over the enter space on the enter key, whatever.
Button pressing intensifies.
Yes. Anyway, 20 years ago, Warner Brothers released a little film called Space Jam. It was a sports comedy featuring Looney Tunes characters about an alien race who wants their planet to be an entertaining success. The Looney Tunes challenge the aliens to a basketball game where seemingly because the Looney Tunes are bigger and taller than them, have the advantage. The aliens, however, steal the talents of various basketball players, and the Looney Tunes turns to pro basketball player Michael Jordan for help. With the faltering career of Michael not being a basketball player anymore, he comes out of retirement to save the day before the aliens take the Looney Tunes to their newest attractions. I mean, even the history behind it was that Michael Jordan signed a contract for advertisements with Warner Brothers Looney Tunes characters to support this widely successful Air Jordans. Then an idea sparked bada bing, bada boom, the ultimate advertising campaign to support not only Warner Brothers but Jordan as well. Everyone wins.
Oh,
just a minute.
It's like Shudder should have that meme. It's like, you read this in my voice, didn't you? Oh my.
Anyway, now don't get me wrong. I'm not going to hate on someone who genuinely likes something. We all have our tastes. But the funny thing is that not only has this film reached cult status, but it seems to me like people in the fandom treat this film as if it was pure gold. When in reality, after rewatching the film myself, the movie could be summed up as, well, average. Yet, for some reason, furries really like Space Jam. So I came up with a couple of theories, and honestly, I can only think of one or two theories as to why furries like it. Either they like it because it has Looney Tunes characters, or they like it because Lola Bunny has tits. Which, by the way, Lola was created for the sole purpose of bringing in more of the female demographic. Unfortunately, they don't really give her much of a personality at all, only to serve more as a sex symbol. But you want to know something else? I'm under the impression that the concept artist for Lola is indeed furry. You want to know why? They gave Lola bunny boobies. That's right, bunny boobies. While this may be the main reason why people in the furry fandom like it, it's a little difficult because 66% of the fandom likes the same sex, which makes it a little hard for me to believe it. Not saying that those people don't exist, but I don't really think it's the sole reason either.
I am one of them. Yeah.
But without me spewing the obvious, I think it's best that I actually analyze the main problems with this film, which is not altogether inappropriate. The film's plot, the focus on commercialism, the jokes not being up to Looney Tunes standards, Michael Jordan's acting, and the numerous close-up shots, and of course Lola Bunny is one of the main problems with this film. Yeah. Yet, for some reason, the fact remains that it's a product of the times that's actually kind of interesting. Yeah. Acknowledging it's an enjoyable movie to look back at how dated it was. So yeah, I guess the biggest question is, other than Looney Tunes characters, why is the film so popular in the furry fandom?
Yeah, I think I gave you this idea, but I gave you this kind of idea a little bit. It's like, to me, it seems like it's reached cult status for a reason. It's not because it's a good movie necessarily, but it's because it's such a unique it's sort of like something that was never really done before, and not to say that it's popular because they did a good job, but it's because it's a meme of a movie. It's the movie itself is a meme.
Are you sure it's a meme? I mean, I don't get me wrong. It's not just popular in the fandom, but it's popular in like a lot of people love it.
Yeah,
but I don't understand why people treat it as if it's gold when there's so many problems with it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's so many problems. There's problems with like the what do you call it? Just the weird animation and the some of the effects were just off. But and then. But I think it's just an interesting thing to mess with, like, because it's such a weird and albeit a little bit poorly done movie. It's just I say it's a meme of a movie because it's like it's meant to make fun of. It's meant to just be not. It's meant to not be taken seriously, I think.
Yes.
I suppose. What do you think, Naka?
I think it's popular because, well, one, it's a 90s classic because 90s.
It's a 90s cult classic movie just because.
That's why so many people,
yeah,
like in the millennial X/Gen Xers.
Interesting bit of trivia. Did you know that the producer of Ghostbusters, the original, actually produced this film?
Oops.
And that explains why Bill Murray is in the cast.
I was about to say.
Yes.
Bill Murray does not play basketball. He plays golf.
And baseball.
And baseball.
Well,
but he doesn't play basketball.
No, he doesn't.
We know he was a Cubs fan, at least.
Oh, yeah. We all know he's a Cubs fan. So was Eddie.
That was amazing. Yeah. But what do you guys think about this film? Because I don't know. I know a lot of people saying that it wasn't as popular in the furry fandom. I don't know. Like,
I think it was like not like the movie. Movie, but just Lola. Was.
I mean, like when they were no, I don't think Lola the character counts because like 60% of the entire fandom is attracted to the same sex. How on earth does that work?
Yes, but what's the demographic of male to female same-sex couples?
Right.
There you go. But I mean, it's not just because they would have sexual interest in it, but just because it's something that they can just mess around with. Like, not that they're actually interested in. Like,
I need to show you like the original Nostalgia Critic review of
but I mean, I haven't
Space Jam because it is really, really good.
I forget when. I'm trying to remember when I saw this movie. It was so long ago. I mean, it was part of my childhood. I just remembered it. What I liked about it was just how weird and out there and ridiculous it was. Not saying it was very impressive of a movie, but it was just because of it's just so weird and unusual that just made it interesting to me.
You know what really bothered me? I guess you want to know the big thing that bothered me about it?
Yes.
They had Danny DeVito as the animated character in the film when it should have been Wayne Knight as the animated character, in my opinion. But I don't know. Maybe he does fit as an animated character. I mean, like, what do you think about this technically?
Technically. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to both of you. Like, just
All right, I haven't really been able to get my thoughts out there. I mean, yes, it's a 90s cult classic, and even I know Lola's more of a sex symbol, but they still tried to make her look pretty, and I'm not even even I could be one of the most flamboyantly gay people in the world, and I would still say, hey, guess what? She looks nice. And I think that's also why a lot of people are attracted to Lola the bunny.
I suppose. I mean, a lot of people are saying. A lot of people saying that the furry fandom is like, they didn't know that Space Jam was that popular in the furry fandom, but apparently, I'm like, I don't know what it is, but every furry that I've met either really likes Space Jam or really likes Space Jam, and they treat it like Zootopia, which is not true, by the way, because Zootopia is a far superior film.
Absolutely not. I'm not saying and again, it's like, I don't think that it's a great, award-winning movie, because obviously I don't think it is. I mean, it doesn't have any awards that
Zootopia is a great award-winning movie.
It's just, I think my theory on this is like it's popular because it's so ridiculous and out there that it's something you can just, I don't know. It's kind of like a guilty pleasure of like weird bad movies kind of thing. Like it's like a horror movie where you're pointing out all the flaws in it, but you still enjoy that.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yes, there is.
Yeah. It's
like I swear, she wears
trying to pick up the ball.
She wears a skimpy outfit and she wears short shorts, and they gave her bunny boobies.
Bunny
boobies. Shorts. And this was the funny thing. What Doug Walker said. We don't want to fuck bunnies. We're people, therefore we like to fuck other people. I mean, I'm sure there's a small percentage out there who'd like to fuck bunnies, aka the furry fandom. But
we don't like to fuck bunnies.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's all I have to say. Yeah, that's all I have to say when it comes to Space Jam. I'm pretty much done. Anyway, let's move on to the letter that we were originally going to read before Naka pressed the enter key.
I'm so sorry for that. I feel so bad. I really
do. Okay. It's okay. It's fine. Just be careful, okay?
Yes. All right, this one is from... All right, this one reads, "Hello, Furballs. My name is Riley the Fox, with 2 X's. So today I had my first true experience of homophobic remarks and hate. Dude came up to me in the mall, basically saying, all of us are going to hell for our sins. I'll spare the more graphic part, but my question is, how would you guys recommend dealing with these comments? Thanks, Riley."
Yeah. I want to say my.
Oh my God! You got space boob in there. That's so amazing.
I put that in there.
Space
boob. Okay. Anyway,
getting back to the thing. I'm gonna keep this confidential for my sister's sake, but I think she has dealt with some of that, and and I saw firsthand the toll it took on her, and it like really I don't want to say it broke my heart to see that, but I want to say it's kind of like you have to think of, people are gonna hate you for
no reason.
For like this is a good lyric from Zero Tolerance. Humans have killed each other so often and for every reason, including none. So people don't need a reason. There's also the song by your favorite Martian. He did Alien. It's like, so why the abuse? Because all the bully needs is a fucking excuse. I mean, these people are just gonna be. I don't like these people. I hate these people who do this, because it's like, you got better things to do with your time than just to be trying to make other people's lives miserable, and encouraging someone to kill themselves. It's not okay to do that. I mean, you're wasting your fucking time. And as far as confronting them, as far as confronting them, I'd say just just leave me alone. Like, I mean, or like hell yeah, their song "I Don't Care Anymore" did it perfectly. It's like, I want nothing of you except for you to get out of my way. I'm feeling fine with myself. I don't really need you. Like, you need to just get out of my life. Fuck off. I don't care anymore. I don't need you.
But anyway, what happened to him exactly? I heard homophobic and I completely zoned out after that.
What happened to who?
I think it was some probably like religious nuts went up to him saying all of them are going. I don't know if he was talking about like furries or whatever, but still, all of us are going to go to hell for their sins. And
okay, I have one thing to say about that. We're already in hell already.
Yeah, it's called.
And here's something else that it's my dad has said this, and then also I've heard this said before. It's like yes, like they saying being gay was a sin. However, it's like all sins have been weighted equally, and it's like it's no worse than anything else. It's like we're all human at the end of the day. it's like we're all going to be judged equally based on that. It's like, so I mean, it doesn't prevent you from getting into heaven. Like, I mean, I know there's plenty of people who are religious who are also gay, and like, it's to each his own.
I have a Catholic friend. I have a Catholic furry who is Catholic, who was beaten within an inch of his life by his own parents because he was gay. Yeah, and yet he still has the fact that he still has a sense of humility to continue on with his life and to continue loving his parents even after that. That is incredible. That is phenomenal. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, and I think it's the way that my parents have taken, because my sister did come out as originally was transgender, but has just decided that she's like pansexual, things like some one of those other things, and they've taken it really well. I mean, it was sort of, I don't want to say it was difficult for them to accept, but they were also sort of just trying to understand it, and that they were also explaining their views, like yes, we're still religious and we still hope that you believe in God, but we don't want you to think that we hate you because of who you are. Like, that's because, like, we're your parents, we love you no matter what. So I mean, it's like these kinds of things shouldn't get in the way of family relationships, because there's much more like serious things people have to fight over. Like, say if someone's like a chronic alcoholic and beating their spouse or something, that's something that's really serious. But people just seem to want to create problems out of nothing. Yeah.
So basically, how I would deal with a situation like this was, you know, Down to the Sickness, how there's that kind of like final part before the final chorus. Why do you have to be such a bitch? I just kind of run this through my head. Why do you have to be such a bitch? Why don't you just fuck off and die? Why can't you just fuck off and die? Why can't you just leave here and die?
I mean, like, I would kind of handle it differently. For me, like, depending on the severity of their transgressions, I would personally just ignore it. But if it, like, came to, like, violence or something, I'm going to do everything in my power to defend myself and not really, punch or kick or do anything.
If it comes to self-defense, I will definitely defend myself, but usually whenever something like this happens, I usually try and turn to music. But whenever it's something like on a high level like this, I would have gone through, it's like, why do you have to be such a bitch?
I mean, I'd probably just ignore it, in all honesty, for me anyway, but what would you say? What would you do?
What I would actually say is, well, thank you for your opinion, but I disagree with that. Have a good day.
It's basically the line from I know what Krüz is thinking. Kingsman, where Harry Hart is in the cult church, and he basically and like the woman's like, "Hey, you got a problem, buddy?" And then he like stares her blank into the eye, and he goes, "I'm a Catholic whore, currently enjoying service out of wedlock with my black Jewish boyfriend who happens to work at a military abortion clinic. Yeah. So hail Satan and have a lovely afternoon." And have a lovely afternoon.
I love that. So hail Satan.
That's like the best line in the whole movie.
She was not ready for that. She was floored.
Yeah.
That was great. Her look on her face was priceless.
What did you think about that line, Naka?
It was great. It was great.
Yeah. But anyway, but yeah, I'm currently getting some news feed right now. Yes,
it's a news update.
Yep, news update.
All right, breaking news.
Anyway, guys, that has been our show tonight. We just want to say thank you again for coming to our show. We hope that you have a wonderful time. My name is Scarfy.
I'm Naka.
And I am Krüz.
And this has been Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse. And P.S. Congratulations, Fiber Kitty and Dusk Panda, for your engagement.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Congrats, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. The feels, man. The feels.
I wasn't crying.
I wasn't crying. Not a single tear.
I just feel really good.
Don't tell me you're one of those shed a single tear motherfuckers.
No,
what is that from?
No, when I cry, I flat out cry, but I wasn't crying when that happened. But anyway,
All right, that's our show for the week.
That's our show for the week, guys. We hope that you have a wonderful time. We'll see you guys later. Take care, kids. Cheers, kids.
Metal!
Okay, bye.